Yes, Nitin.
Hello,
Hello,
Jagjot.
Nitin. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm very fine. Tell me.
So, it's been quite I think, few weeks I've started listening to you, and it's quite calming, and I really find your talks meaningful and can relate to it. So, as far as I am concerned, I have been reading about the non-duality on Quora from Teja Anand, and that is where I got the concept like, okay, what is it about? And eventually, I find it meaningful. So, only thing is that I just wanted to understand from you is that when we are talking about meditation and looking it from the perspective of awareness, that everything is just rising and falling in that awareness. But can you please elaborate on that? What does the meditation reveals about our mind? Eventually, the question arises because we see that it's a endless content, and it
Yes.
is changing content, and new content gets added.
Yes.
And the previous, and generally the pattern is that it is um, the same kind of thing is going on for a period of time that we
Yes.
can see. So
Yes.
what does meditation reveal about the content, and so that the content gets dropped
Yeah. Yeah.
eventually? The purpose is that it gets dropped or detached, something, right? But till
Yes.
the time it is in loop, we can assume that it is not dropped or detached, or it is still going around, right? So effectively, if meditation reveals something, because the only question comes is it's endless content and new
Yes.
things get added, then how meditation can help us to realize the untruth or worthlessness of this content?
Right. So you see, what is meditation? Right. Now, generally, what happens is that we have reduced meditation to a practice, and that is fine. I mean, there's nothing against it. In fact, I also do meditation regularly, but one has to understand the concept first as to why are we meditating, what is it that we want really. And you know there was a time I spoke to Teja,
Mm.
and he asked me the same question. What do you want exactly? What is it that you're looking for? Let's say you are meditating and you have been told that it will make you see something, right? But what is it that you're trying to achieve, and what is that going to be permanent in your life, or is there something else to it? And the answer was that I don't really know.
Mm.
I don't really know what I'm trying to achieve with meditation. So, what my experience says is that true meditation happens when the meditator dissolves, when the meditator completely vanishes, the one who is trying to seek something. So, true meditation is actually end of seeking.
Mm.
When it is completely understood that life has to be accepted in its natural flow, then by itself, in that acceptance, the identification with right and wrong begins to loosen up. It begins to dissolve. That is when the identification with the content begins to dissolve. If I'm trying to
Mm.
push away one content, there is some content which I don't like, and I'm trying to push it away, right? There is other content that I like and I want it. These both, they appear to be forces in opposite direction, but they are in the same direction.
Mm.
What you averse, you are getting attached to also. So the thing is that this life itself becomes a meditation once it is understood that there is actually no separation with anything. And your own experience will show you this. It is not that you have to do something to realize this. You may have seen that get when you get identified with a particular belief, it causes suffering, right? Now, identification by itself is not wrong as such. It is not the problem. The problem is the grasping of a belief that this is my core belief and this is what I am. If I say I am the body, right? And this is my core belief, and I say that I am the body and nothing can change my mind, then what will happen? Then I will suffer when the body suffers. When the body is in pain, I will suffer with it. But when I recognize that everything is a movement, and how I know that everything is a movement, now this is difficult to explain conceptually, intellectually, but you see, your very nature is stillness because the movement has been identified.
Mhm.
Otherwise, if you were movement, only the movement, you would have never known. If you were only the mind, you would have never known that there is a mind. There is
Mm.
a light, the light of the pure witness, the witness that remains unaffected by anything. In that, the movement or the arising of mind is seen. So, this continuous experience of mind expanding and coming back to its restful state, this will happen continuously in meditation. In
Right.
meditation, the emotions will come up. You will feel the sensations. You
Mhm.
will see the movement happening towards thinking, okay,
Right.
I did this that day.
Mhm.
I should not have done this, you know, and you will see that how these beliefs are creating guilt, how they are
Mhm.
creating feelings of shame, unworthiness. And then you form an association that it is because I have these core beliefs within me. They are deep within my conscious, subconscious. But when you know that these are only sensations, these are only the thoughts are basically it's just an arising because you are the space which illumines everything, then very naturally that detachment starts to take place. So, it is not that there is any particular practice of meditation that can help with that. But yes, meditation is generally good for calming the mind, right? You can sit in meditation, it calms the mind. And in that, uh, you know, that will give you a space to inquire.
Okay.
With an agitated mind, when you are identified with the flow, your inquiry will never be
Mm.
sincere. You know,
Right.
you will constantly question. You will say that, but it is this, there
Mm.
are wars, there is violence, there is this, there is that,
Mm.
right? You're continuously identified with the flow and you're trying to find a solution. You're trying to find, in other words,
Mm.
you're trying to find stillness in the movement.
In the moment.
This knowledge itself will bring you back to stillness. So, what, like from my personal experience, I say bring yourself back to this beingness.
Mm.
This is, don't have to do it vigilantly, don't have to do it as a practice.
Mhm.
Whenever you see the movement happening, the very seeing of that movement brings you back to stillness. Nothing is to be
Mm.
done.
Right.
So, in fact, this concept frees you from all practices. You don't have to give any time because time
Mm.
itself is an inference which is born of thought. So, time
Mm.
does not have solution.
Right. And I have seen this. I think in a book. I forgot the name of the author. The uh, headless space something.
Okay. Okay.
So he also has some YouTube videos where he is just having a head cam and driving a cycle, and he says that everything happens in this awareness. And so you can visually see that you can see your legs, hands, and everything, but that again happens inside this
Yeah.
headless awareness. So yes, agreed.
Okay.
So thank you.
Anything
Thank
else?
you. No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Nathan. Thank you.